And welcome to Uncomat Online Academy. In today's lesson, we want to talk about undefined fractions. In our previous lesson, we talked about zero fractions, in which case we try to make the numerator of the fraction equal to 0 because 0 divided by anything is equal to 0. But I also told you to try dividing a number by 0. Maybe say 1 divided by 0, or 20 divided by 0, or 100 divided by 0. If you are using a calculator, you cannot divide it. It will show you an error message. So it is not possible for us to divide anything by 0. Now, if you cannot divide a fraction or something by 0, we say that the value is undefined. If you cannot divide a value by 0, we say that the value is undefined. So what we are doing in undefined fraction is to look for something that we can do so that the value of the fraction will be undefined, or it will be impossible to divide the fraction. Now, if we want to make it impossible to divide any fraction, it means that we have to make the denominator to be equal to 0, since we know that dividing anything by 0 will not be possible. So if they are asking us what is the value of s for which a fraction is undefined, they are just asking us what is the value of x that will make it impossible for us to divide the fraction. For instance, if we have if you have 2 over x, if you have 2 over x and we are asked to find the value of x for which this fraction is undefined, now we simply make x to be equal to 0. Now remember that in 0 fraction, we make the numerator equal to 0. In 0 fraction, we concentrate with the numerator, but in undefined fraction, we concentrate with the denominator. So in undefined fraction, we are going to do like we don't know that the numerator is existing. We are going to forget everything about the numerator and we focus our attention on the denominator. Just like in zero fraction, we focus our attention on the numerator and do like we don't know that the denominator is existing. So here, this fraction is undefined when x is equal to 0. We have made x equal to 0, and that gives us the value of x for which this equation or this fraction is equal to is undefined. Now, example 1. Example 1. Now, let's look at two x minus 1 over 2x minus 1 over 5x plus 5. Now this is going to give us 5x plus 4 5x plus 4. Now solution, this is going to give us, or we ask ourselves, what can we do to this fraction to make it equal to 0? I mean, to make it undefined. What we can do to make it undefined is to equate this denominator to be equal to 0. So the fraction is undefined when we have 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. And in this case, 5x is equal to minus 4 and x is equal to minus 4 over 5. X is equal to minus 4 over 5. So this is the value of x for which the fraction is undefined. Example 2. Nine x raised to power 2 minus 6x over x raised to power 2 minus 4. Now, and we are asked to find the value of x for which this fraction is undefined. Just seeing the fraction is undefined, we are going to do like this numerator is not existing. We are going to forget the numerator entirely and focus our attention on the denominator, which is this one. So we equate the denominator to 0. So we have x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Now if we simplify this, x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Now if we simplify this, we have that x squared minus 2 squared, because 4 is equal to 2 squared. So x squared minus 2 squared is equal to 0. This is equal to 0. Now there is one law that says that if we have a squared minus b squared, that it is equal to a plus b bracket a minus b. Now, so if we take this a squared to represent x squared and we take b squared to represent 2 squared, now we are now going to have that is very similar to x plus 2 bracket x minus 2. So now that we have this, we now say that either x plus 2 is equal to 0. Remember that this is equal to 0. So it is either x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, when it is x plus 2 is equal to 0, then it means that x to stand alone. The plus 2 will come to the other side, and if it is crossing a quality sign, it will become minus. So x is equal to minus 2. Or for the second one, 2 has minus. For it is crossing the quality sign, it will become plus. So x is equal to plus 2. So these are the values of x for which the fraction given there is equal to is undefined. That is when x is equal to minus 2 or when x is equal to plus 2 or 2. So what this means is that if you put minus 2 into the equation, into the fraction, we'll find out that it will be impossible for us to divide the fraction. You can try that. Substitute minus 2 into the fraction and see if you can divide it. Also try it with 2 and see if it is possible for you to try it. So this is how to solve undefined fractions. Now your assignment. Now determine the value of x for which the following fractions are not defined, are undefined. Determine the value of x for which the following are undefined. They can say undefined or say not defined. It is the same thing. Now, if we have x plus 6, 5x plus 6, 5x plus 6 over x minus 7. That is number 1. Then number 2. Number 2 is x squared plus 7x minus 8 over so for us to get the value of x for which the fraction here is equal to undefined, then you know the procedure given to you. So use the procedure and solve these two exercises and show me the value of x for which the fractions are undefined. Thank you.